wonderful friend and companion for exploring all things spiritual, Gretchen Comer. We help awakening souls like you to increase your emotional and spiritual intelligence by accessing your full range of resources. And that's a full range of resources is a major focus to us. We focus on angels and masters and all of these beautiful beings of light and resources like oracles and tarot and the Akashic Records. So it's a full range. And our goal is to help you to enjoy life to the fullest, to evolve and grow in magical and mystical ways with all of that. Today, our focus, which I've been so excited about, and we didn't get to it last week because we weren't here. Philip and I, my husband, were celebrating our 43rd wedding anniversary. And we went on a little trip together. So our focus today is on the blessings of summer. We just passed the summer solstice. We haven't missed, not like we missed half of summer. Anyhow, we'll welcome in this season and the month of July with one of our favorite readings for Gretchen and me, the 4 directions. And it will be a reading for us collectively. Then we'll embrace the blessings of the season along with that and draw another card as a central focus, which you'll see it step by step. And we're going to draw that one from the Oracle of the Hidden Realms or Hidden Worlds.
Hidden Worlds.
Hidden Worlds.
Hidden Worlds.
Anyhow, it's going to be quite a cornucopia of things. We'll also visit the Akashic Records for more insights. And then if time allows, which it always has in the past, we'll even do some brief tarot readings for those who are joining us, which reminds me, I want to bring up the chat here. It's not cooperating. Oh, here we are. Oh, okay, and Sharon and Nikki are here. So welcome, Sharon and Nikki. As always, we want to thank you for joining us and having that time to focus on enriching your life and making a difference in the world. With that, also, we start out by focusing on our breath, and we can just imagine that we're surrounded in our time together with the most amazing love and light from the universe. And as we breathe now and throughout this time together, just focus on breathing in love and light and whatever you feel you need more of: happiness, joy, magic, miracles, balance, peace, harmony. All those things are available to us for the asking. So also, if you're here with us live, please say hi. If you're new, tell us where you're from. And for everybody, feel free to comment, to ask questions, to participate in whatever way feels good to you. We'd love to hear from you. So with that, Gretchen, I'd like to turn to you and ask if you would start us out. We have this big picture of summer, and I think July makes sense, just including that, because it is like the essence of summer, the fullness of summer here. So what do you think?
I think summer is such an interesting time. It's such a high energy time, and it is often a time when we feel that energy, like we're not tired and everything's kind of crazy and energetic around us. We're actually immersed in it. We're actually part of it. And I think it's beautiful. Nature is in such an exquisite state in the summertime, and it really draws you outdoors. So it's a wonderful time to ground with nature. And I feel like that's a big important part of what the season has to offer. And it's a time of growth. You know, we're growing things in our gardens, figuratively, you know, as well as physically and literally. And so I think, to me, it's a time of hustle and bustle, but it's a very pleasant time. The energy is very sweet. We see lots of animals, we see lots of birds and beautiful butterflies and insects and things like that. So it all just draws you outdoors. And says, come sit with me, just come and be. So nature is inviting us. I think one of the biggest blessings of summer is it's so pleasant to be outdoors. And for those of us who see a real winter and see a real summer, it's such a wonderful thing that we wait for all year long. So to me, it has a very sweet energy and a very invigorating energy, as well as grounding. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's well, if you look at the seasons in relation to the elements of nature, it's the fire element. Of course, these are the longest days, and I realize if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's the complete opposite. But you're welcoming the fullness of winter. Here it is the longest days, the brightest light. Really does, it just stimulates us to be more active and to spend time outdoors. It's interesting as a teacher and guide. Summer is a time when we don't hear as much from people because they're outdoors doing outdoor things, which is appropriate for the season, and we want to be in harmony with the natural rhythms of life, which is the seasons, the lunar phases, and all those things that we talk about here. So it's a beautiful opportunity that we have in this space to go into some detail with it. And the reading, as I suggested when we started, the reading that we're doing today is, I think, for both of us, one of our favorites. The Four Directions reading, which connects the elements, the seasons, the times. It's just like there's so many things that happen in four, and it all was connected with the elements and how we experience life during those different seasons. So having the opportunity then to, with this reading, have a focus for, okay, so for the summer, what is my focus? We can say we're out there being active, but what spiritually? If we're looking also at that transformative energy of fire, what is going to support that? That's what we're here for today, to come to more of an understanding of what that is for us collectively. And then the central focus is the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds it is magical. It's like going through a portal into a place that raises everything to a higher level. So very exciting. Did you want to add anything, Gretchen, before we start the reading?
No, I think we're ready.
Okay, so Gretchen is going to draw the cards. Again, it's the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And I'm going to shift, as soon as she starts, I'm going to shift to a camera so everybody can see the cards. I have a deck here, and I'm just going to pull the ones that she's describing. And so you get the visuals, you get the auditory, and you can just feel what it means for you. When we're reading for the collective, it is something that has collective meaning for us. Oh, and I see Lula's here. Hi, Lula. And Babs. It's a beautiful summer day. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, everyone. Interesting. Okay, so what is dawning or emerging in our lives right now? And the card that I chose is Courage. You can see Courage.
That's a very active energy. So we're looking at the east here. I'm going to change over and you can see the card. So here we have courage in the east.
This is really beautiful imagery. Would you like me to go through all of them, or would you like me to do them one by one?
Well, just do them as we pull them.
Okay. All right. So
is that okay?
That's fine. This is a really beautiful image. I love this image of the rocky seashore. And this card is about strength and fortitude. Much like these rocks, they're standing in the face of these ocean waves that are constantly pounding on the shore, and yet they're still strong. When the waves are gentle, they're still strong, and when the storms arrive, they're still strong. They never falter. And this card signifies that an enduring, everlasting, passionate courage in the depth of your being is arising. There's nothing that you can't confront and face. You are a warrior of the light. It's beautiful. So it's the sacred landscape says, step forward, throw your shoulders back, stand up for yourself with passion, speak up for those less fortunate, be impeccable in all your actions. This isn't the time to be timid and pull back, which again is an active energy,
Right.
Instead of being timid, being more receptive.
Right.
Don't be limited
by active time of the year, active energy.
Right. Don't be limited by the beliefs of others. Use your passion to make a difference. Courage doesn't mean that you aren't afraid. Fearless means to fear less. Acknowledge your fear and take action anyway. Make a stand. You are strong and powerful, and you have great valor within you. I love that. It's like stepping away from the mass consciousness. Don't be limited by the beliefs of others. I love that.
Right. Yeah. And it is the east is related to dawn, to morning, what's dawning. And also it's about our thinking. So it's about the air element, about how we think about things. So this makes a lot of sense to be original in our thinking, creative in our thinking, and to be thinking from a higher place rather than kind of down in the dumps where a lot of people are, you could say.
Sure.
So that's beautiful.
Right. I think there's a lot of times in our life too, we actually have an incredible depth of courage we don't have an awareness of until we need it. And then it's like this bottomless pit of beautiful courage. So I think that's a wonderful thing to remind us that we do have it within us,
Yeah.
We can accomplish whatever we put our minds to with that courage.
Right.
So the next card is the South. What is expanding in our lives right now? And the card that I chose is leadership.
Leadership. Wow, that makes sense too.
With the polar bear.
Okay, so we have leadership to the south, and this is the fire element.
Right. So this is what is expanding in our lives right now.
Right.
And so it says this is the North Star. In the Western culture, we wish upon a star because stars represent all that is illuminating and enchanting. They symbolize aspiration, illumination, inspiration, imagination, and wonder. And native people use the stars to find their way in the night. This North Star was often used as a kind of compass to make sure one was going in the right direction. So the North Star symbolizes direction and guidance. It's a guiding light for those who can't find their way. It's one of the brightest stars in its constellation. So the sacred landscape wants you to know that just as the North Star is a beacon for travelers in the dark of the night, you are a beacon for others. It's time to step into the light and take your leadership role. You are a teacher, steward, guardian, and healer, a true leader. Own these gifts. Come into the light. Don't hold back. Let the world see your light. The greatest leaders are those who know how to serve and act as stepping stones for others to reach their dreams. If you've been hiding in the background, it's time to break out and become the light for others. Through this, your star shines brighter.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's powerful. It's a powerful card.
It is, and it's so
kind of an understatement.
Right. Yeah, so appropriate.
I agree. I mean, for those of us who gather together for just, for example, for this show, for the Soul Awakening show, we're drawn here for a reason. It is time. Your light, we're each magnificent, and our light is so important to shine into the world. So I think that's beautiful. We are each stars, we are like the North Star, shining that light, becoming a beacon, becoming a lantern people can see their way by. I think that's beautiful.
Right. And that's what everything that we're talking about here.
Right. Exactly. It kind of encapsulates all of that.
Right. And an appropriate time to shine that light brightly. So,
we're being asked to do that, I think, a lot more now than ever before. We're becoming a lot more aware of the need of it, right now in the world. So the next card, did you have anything else to say about that? I'm sorry.
No, thank you.
Okay.
That's good. It's so far, this is really amazing for summer.
It's a really two very powerful cards, and we've got two more that are also very powerful here. So the next one is the West card for the West, which is, the water and the emotions. And so this is what is emerging from the depths of our awareness. And the card I chose is security. Which is a really beautiful card. It's something I love to do personally, have an outdoor fire. So beautiful. And so security, this is the, did you find it? I'm sorry.
I'm working on it. Go ahead, you can start. I've got it.
Okay.
There
This
we
is
have
the firelit cave. So that's what we're looking at here, this beautiful firelit cave with a spalt in the ceiling. You could see the starry sky. So in ancient times, our forebears took refuge in caves, and it was there that they could seek shelter from the weather and be protected from predators and enemies. And the cave offered a safe place to prepare food, sleep, heal, and build community. Caves were also the places where sacred spiritual ceremonies occurred, evidenced by cave drawings and altars that have been built along the ledges. And symbolically, caves have represented a secret pathway to the underworld, the divine womb of the mother, and the sacred heart. And also, caves can be energy portals for shamans or other spiritual explorers. It's kind of how I see them too. So the sacred landscape wants you to know you are safe and protected. No matter what is occurring in your life, you are in safe hands. Those in the realm of spirit are watching over you. You can relax and let go. Once you've taken measures to protect yourself and those that you love, such as making sure everyone has their seatbelt on in the car, making sure your insurance is paid on time, or replacing the filter on your heating unit, then let go. If you've been hypervigilant lately, take a break. Relax. Know that all is well. You could turn it all over to the Creator.
Yeah. No. Another beautiful one. And I think if you look at the first two, we have the courage and the leadership. Those are cards that can make us think that we might be unsafe if we are reaching out more fully. And so this one, adding security to it, knowing that you are being guided and that you're safe and that you're doing the right thing if you're following your heart. It makes so much sense because we want to be able to reach out and also have that kind of sacred space for ourselves like this. We often describe this one as what's emerging from the depths of your awareness to be integrated. And it's very important for us to realize that in our roles as, you could say, way showers, in whatever capacity we want or can exert that kind of an energy, we are guided and we are safe.
So. It's a beautiful reminder too that we're always divinely protected.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Well, that's really beautiful. So this last card is equally as beautiful. This is the card for the North, which is Earth. And this is, what are we nurturing, repairing, or healing in the quiet hours? And I chose community, which I think speaks to these other three cards as well. And it's such a beautiful card.
And here we are.
Yes, absolutely. Here we are. So this card speaks of the ancient forest, which is what the imagery on this card is, actually. Kind of a rainbow that's casting through the forest. It says the towering ancient trees.
I have to add, they're butterflies.
Yeah, they're
butterflies and rainbows. I like both.
Butterflies and rainbows. So magical. So it says the towering ancient trees in a forest look distinct from one another, yet beneath the surface of the earth, their roots are intertwined. This root acts as a kind of communication system through the community of trees. Instantaneous messages travel through this underground system, and nutrients can travel along this network. Trees at one side of the forest can supply nourishment required on the other side of the forest. Danger at one end of the network is communicated to the far end of the intertwined roots. So the sacred landscape wants you to know that support is all around you. Even if you are not consciously aware of it, allow yourself to be supported. Give encouragement to others. The more you allow yourself to be supported, the more your dreams can come true. If you believe that you have to do it all alone, you will. Your true family is not just blood relationships. Sometimes the strongest family ties are friends who know who you are. Sometimes they are your ancestors of soul family who reside in spirit. This card speaks of finding your community and your people, quote unquote. It is a card of remembering that your people are at your side, believing in you, loving you, and standing strong beside you. Call on your community and ask for their assistance. They are only a thought away.
Wow, that's another wow. And I see,
think
and
it
Kita
is.
has joined us. Welcome, Kita. Go ahead, Gretchen.
I was just going to say, I love how these cards all interplay with each other. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. And it is interesting, I think, in what I'm told in with my guidance, and what we try to provide also with our offerings with Awakenings Institute, from courses and all the things that we offer, is that sense of community. Because we're, as I think you were suggesting in the reading also, Gretchen, it's not just like, well, here I am, I live in this place. It's actually the spiritual family that we have around us. And I feel actually with the people who are here, that those I know who are here, it is like you're part of my, not like, I should say, you are part of my spiritual family. And that's meaningful to me.
It's looking
it's
at these. I think it's wonderful. I was thinking, looking at these are almost like the 4 standards of a school, community, courage, leadership, security. It's like when schools have their main missions or standards. And I think that's true. We could be supportive. We could be in leadership by also helping support other people be in leadership. We feel safe. We can help others feel safe. We show courage. We can help others live through their courage. So it is all comes back to community, on some level.
Yeah. It's beautiful. So at this point, we're going to go, Gretchen and I will go into the Akashic Records and get some messages. Do you think, Gretchen, I should draw the central focus before we go? It probably makes sense to have the whole thing.
Yeah, right? I think that would make sense.
Yeah. Okay. And then, as I said at the beginning, what we want to do then is we can draw for some of the people who are here today. We can draw a central focus for you to add to this same reading as part of the community. And I really love cards that serve as portals. And this is the back of these cards, which is so beautiful. Just it obviously is suggesting a portal to another world. Very, very beautiful card. So what we're going to do is draw one and see what's on the other side for us today. And the card we have, is Ascend.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and we are here about awakening and growing and ascending above, reaching above the limited perspectives that are around us. So this one, I'm going to read about it. It is as if a flight of stairs has appeared with an opportunity to step up and out of wherever you are into a new level of being. When a drama is playing out around us, it can be hard to see that we don't need to interact with it at the level at which it was initiated. And this goes back actually to me, to this courage card, that we want to forge our own path. Instead, we can rise up and out of the story so we can see it from a new perspective and with a new degree of understanding. If the drama is taking place outside of you, it's time to pull away and take some quiet time alone in the cave. So you can recharge, renew, and remember your power. The drama may be occurring inside you, for example, when you feel anxious or your mind is telling you stories that feel scary or disempowering. In these instances, you will discover freedom when you stop identifying with the inner chatter and instead identify with the wise, vast, silent consciousness in which it is all arising. We have that right there. This is amazing. That is your true consciousness. It's who you are, and it's where all the answers and solutions lie. Einstein is credited with saying we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them. Instead, the problem you seem to be experiencing will not be solved by fighting or arguing with it on its own terms. Instead, you can establish your terms by rising out of the inner landscape where the problem appears to have so much power. But just for a moment, let go of your beliefs or expectations about your circumstance and instead choose to see it as if you are viewing it from high above, or perhaps as if you are looking back at it as your older, wiser self. And we can do both of those. We'll be doing a guided visualization. Loosen your grip on the solution, or decide to see it through the eyes of compassion and love for everyone involved. There's a little more, but I think that we got the gist of the message here. And it does all, doesn't it fit together amazingly?
It does. It does.
Did you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think it beautifully actually sums up the whole reading. I mean,
right, it does.
It really does. So
yeah. Yeah, and it is, again, it's such a beautiful card. I love to just gaze into these cards. So what we can do now, are you ready, Gretchen?
Sure.
Our guided visualization. So what we're going to do is do it as a group. We can rise out of, as suggested right at the beginning. We can even imagine that flight of stairs, which I didn't actually notice it at first. There is this flight of stairs leading up into the stars, and so we'll go up that flight of stairs, and then Gretchen and I will connect in the records for the collective for any messages that are here for us. So we'll start as usual, closing our eyes. Again, connecting with the love and light and all of the most amazing energies the universe around us is providing for us. Just breathing in that love, that light, joy, peace, gratitude, happiness, magic, mystery, miracles, all of those things, or any of them that appeal to you in this moment. Just bringing them in, and at the same time releasing anything that you don't need right now. And that might include energy from other people, places, and times that we pick up. It did mention also with this card that we sometimes are holding the perspective of the mass consciousness of the collective. And we can pick up that energy and not know who we are anymore, just becoming confused by it. So if you just ask all of that energy to go back where it came from, so you can hold your own space, you might feel more present in your body, for one thing, and also just lighter. We also pick up energy, or we also leave bits of ourselves in other places, other times, and with other people. So this is also a time when you can ask any energy that you've left anywhere else to come back to right now. And again, you might feel more present in the moment and more grounded in who you are. And those are things that can help us to open to that courage and that ability to speak up as leaders in our lives. So with that, we can together envision that amazing flight of stairs that is appearing as an opportunity to step up and out of wherever we are, wherever you are, into a new level of being. Again, as it says, when a drama is playing out around us, it can be hard to see that we don't have to interact with it at the level at which it was initiated. So as we imagine rising up those stairs to we could say a mystical mountaintop or a place in the higher dimensions, whatever feels right to you. Just imagine rising above all of those thought forms from the collective of humanity that are wanting to drag us down and hold us in limitation. So we're rising to a place where we have that glorious view of the stars and all of the universe around us. And we can feel the support and the love, the light, the presence of the divine in our lives. So wherever you are in those higher dimensions, just allow yourself to take in that light and love from the universe. And as you do that, you may find yourself reflecting on these elements that we described in the reading for you: courage, leadership, security, and community, and the opportunity to ascend to a higher place where life can become more magical and miraculous. So with that, I want to invite Gretchen, and Gretchen and I will go into the records and ask for any guidance about how we can best embrace this summer energy in a way that supports us in awakening, in ascending to a higher place. So Gretchen, when you're ready, I'd like to start with you. Any insights that you have?
Sure. What I'm hearing as a message is to try something that we've always wanted to do this summer. It's like it's a time to kind of be playful with life. It's not a time to be super serious and going within so much as it is to be outwardly playful and physical and use our bodies and this beautiful vehicle that we live in, that's our bodies, and to just try something that maybe we've always wanted to do but have never done. We've never had the courage to just take that little leap to do it. And I just feel like the energy with that message is very playful and light, and I hear laughter and the sounds of outdoors in the summertime, and um, just feeling that sense of joyfulness and the exhilaration of doing something that you've always wanted to do but never have, and then finally doing it. It's kind of this all-encompassing sense of just lightheartedness and joy.
Right, right. And I think sometimes when we think of fire, we don't think of it in that way. We think of fire as, we might even think of it as being harsh and being really highly masculine. It is a masculine energy. It is inviting us to move forward, as Gretchen was suggesting. And I think if you just tuning into what that message was from Gretchen, which I think is really a beautiful one, just think of something, anything, and do it in a lighthearted way. It is, the fire element is also about opening to the things that inspire us most, the things, as she suggested, also that make us happy, that make us feel most engaged with life, most alive. And I think it would be probably hard to find a person who doesn't feel like in one way or another they've suppressed some of their aliveness, some of their joy, maybe not wanting to look silly or not wanting people to notice that they're different. Just to open to that, open to what those really fun and exciting and wonderful things are for you. It's interesting too that summer is a time for, and of course we're northern hemisphere talking about northern hemisphere, it's a time associated with travel and vacation. So you can have a vacation for an hour and go to that place of magic within you where you can allow yourself to embrace something new that maybe you haven't dared to embrace before. I think that really makes sense to me. They're saying small steps
Mm.
with meaning are so much more beneficial than taking big steps just because you feel you should.
Mhm.
You know, like, well, okay, so I have to have courage. I have to be a leader. I have to make this big step. It doesn't have to be a big step. It seems like it's more important for it to be a genuine step towards
Mm.
those things that are more enlivening to you, which would be more joyful, more exciting, more magical.
Yeah, I feel like part of the message too, what I feel like I'm hearing is there's no need to wait. It's interesting. I read something the other day that says you don't have to wait for a special occasion to do something. Living your life is the special occasion. So it's like there's no need to
Right.
wait to save ourselves to know, oh, I'll do that later in my life, or I'll do that later. Well, what if tomorrow doesn't come? So it's about embracing the moment and taking that little leap to do that thing that maybe you've always wanted to do. Don't wait,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm. Yeah. It made me think also, Sharon, and Nikki, who are here, they live in the area near me. And I was telling Sharon just the other day that there is a there is um, a botanical garden in the town where they live. And there is a place within that garden that is called the Willow Maze. And um, I hope Sharon received it. I sent a picture of it to you, of the entrance to it. It's like it's a it's a little botanical garden in a small town. It's not a huge thing. Um, but the Willow Maze, it to me is full of fairies. And I just find it so magical to go there and commune with the fairies. And there may be those kinds of things as if we're looking to ascend, connecting with our reality in a way maybe we haven't dared before. Like, could I really commune with a tree, or could I really could I really go into this little magical maze and commune with fairies? I wish I was there right now. There are so many opportunities, and I discovered one of the trees that I love very most is in my front yard. So it's not like it has to be, again, it has to be a big thing. And it doesn't have to be that either, but I think that's just what came to mind for me. And it really something that feels like a vacation, feels like something special for summer, and also
Mhm.
something maybe you would think, well, I really don't have time for that. I don't dare, take off the time. I think we have to make time for some of those things that are meaningful. And I think actually nature, we're looking at the blessings of the fullness of nature in summer. Um, Connecting in a deeper way with nature is a beautiful thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
And to me, the message is enjoy the fullness of this time of year.
Mhm.
Being a leader is actually also, it is maybe daring to do things in a different way from what you could say uh, what the collective would say is valid. Take more time for imagination and fun. See what it does for you. So that feels complete to me. How about you, Gretchen?
I agree. Yeah. It's a wonderful, wonderful message.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
So again, we can all take in a little more of that starlight as we start to drift back down to where we started, focusing on our bodies in our seats or wherever we're resting, with feet firmly on the ground or on the floor, grounding ourselves to Mother Earth. And breathing in more active energy, more of that fire type energy, as we prepare to return to our normal waking states and do some mini readings. And with that, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Well, this has been so far just a whole lot of fun for me.
Me too. Me too.
Lula says, I will get an inflatable pool for my balcony so I can play with my little Lula.
That's lovely.
Yeah. And she has a rainbow there and a smiley face, I think it is. Yeah, that will be my little step for the summer. Wonderful. Okay, so what the opportunity is now for anyone who is here live with us is I'm going to take away this central focus. We're going to leave this collective reading as it is. And then for anyone individually who wants a reading, you can just volunteer by saying, yes, please. I'm going to draw a card for you. We have time for, I think, a few here, so. Here we got one. We got two. So first we have Nikki and then we have Lula. I'm shuffling the cards here. And these can be very profound, I think, this Oracle of the Hidden Worlds. Okay, so we're going for Nikki. Wow, this is interesting. And this makes a lot of sense. I think also with all of these, there are probably things for us all to gain. This is a really beautiful one, freedom. And it's like an image of a woman coming out of a confined space into the open to experience more freedom. I'm going to read a little bit about this, maybe not the whole message because these are kind of long, but I'll see. This is an interesting, this is number 44, which is an interesting number in itself. You are now stepping out of a cage and reclaiming your birthright to be free. Perhaps you're leaving a job, organization, relationship that has been like a prison for you, or your prison may have been less tangible. For example, even if you've moved on from a religion you were raised with, you may have internalized some of its teachings and are now liberating yourself from them. Or you may have been in a serious relationship with a person who frequently insulted you, and now you have finally released yourself from the belief that you in some way deserved those insults. I think we can all look just in our imagination, where have we held ourselves back? God got us all that is. As you know, I suffer from an addiction. This is an example. I suffer from blank. Why don't we leave it there? I'm asking that you now help me to release this so I can move forward and be free. I am willing to change. I am willing to listen deeply for your guidance. Thank you. In the days and weeks ahead, be alert to any miraculous coincidences or other forms of divine communication that points you towards another step to freedom. And that reminds me also, it's something I keep sharing this week. I guess for whatever reason, it must be relevant. I have this little pad of paper. Philip actually handed me this note, which I rewrote because I can't read his writing. I feel blank because I choose to believe blank. It can be I feel miraculous because I choose to believe that life is a mystery and a magical opportunity to expand and grow. Whatever it is, and you don't even have, I choose blank. I feel blank because I choose blank. And just ask yourself that. I have it sitting here, and every time I see it, I ask myself, well, what do I choose in this moment? What will make me feel more free, more enlivened, more awake? Yeah, it really goes very well with everything else, including the one on ascension. But
I love that.
I think that also, I think that some say that the message of the new age, or the keyword for the new age, is freedom. And I think all of us seek things that will help us to feel more free. So that was for Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. That was really a great one. I'm going to do one for Lula now. And oh, I have shuffled these, by the way. I have ascend. So that's, I guess, ascend with an exclamation point for Lula. Allowing yourself. I think I love, I don't know, Lula, if you have this deck, it's really beautiful. I love just the idea of imagining ascending this beautiful staircase. You know, it feels like, in actually the woman shown here, it's almost like she's floating. Gretchen, did you have any thoughts on that? Actually, I forgot to ask you if you had any thoughts on freedom too. So either of those.
Yeah,
or both. I mean, they're so connected.
Right. Just briefly on freedom, I think that's a trap that we all fall into. And I think you know, we it's not so much, I think there are a lot of times there are things that we react to rather than responding that can keep us in that cage that other people believe. But I think we're probably more likely to be in a cage because of our own beliefs about ourselves. And so I think that's a beautiful card for all of us to know that we can free ourselves from that line of thinking or line of belief or whatever it is that's holding us prisoner, and just really embracing that ability to be free. So I think that's a beautiful card. The Ascend card, just in knowing Lula, I feel like this is probably really relevant to where she is in her life right now. So in particular, I think it's very magical and mystical. I love all the starshine that's in the card, all the sparkliness that's in the card, and just really about how that is an effortless, like she's floating up the stairs. So to me, that's not like trudging up the stairs on foot, which is more of a struggle. This is like effortless flowing up the stairway into the stars. And I think it's a good validation that Lula's on the right path, you know.
Yeah, beautiful. I think it's so interesting.
It's a really pretty card.
I turned it over and I thought,
just in case you didn't get it the first time, you know.
Right. Or if you think, well, it's for everybody, maybe it's not for me. Right. It was, and I think it is an exclamation point for us all, probably. I like this too. To me, it kind of reminds me of a chandelier.
It does,
and it's kind of like I see it as the light of the divine reaching down to us, and we're reaching up to it or moving up
to meet it. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it is connected. This is connected to something that's above. That's the way that I view
that's
it.
Actually that's really astute, because she's actually halfway up the staircase, and so it's like she's meeting divinity or the source halfway. So that's a lot of what we have to do. You know, we can't expect to have it all come to us. So we have to engage and be a participant in life. So that's beautiful. I love the floating dress that comes out, or robes that come out behind her, is beautiful. She has a lot of movement.
Yeah. It makes me think I choose to feel radiance. Sometimes I feel I at first I didn't know even how to describe it. It was almost even more than bliss. I feel radiant because I choose to embrace my connection with the divine.
Right. And I
choose to be in the flow with the divine. I like that even better, because she is flowing. I choose to believe in the flow with the divine.
I immediately put in the ones from the freedom card, Nikki's card. I feel imprisoned because I choose to believe that I am, you know, so there are lots of ways to look at that. And I think that cage is more often than not an illusion that we create, you know, to hold ourselves back, or to keep our light from shining fully.
Wanting to fit in. I think that's it's a human trait. I know it's strong in me. I want to fit in, but I also want to ascend.
Right.
And I have to have the courage and take leadership with myself. with
Right.
the different parts of myself
Right.
that have different ambitions or goals.
Right. And knowing that you're safe with the
Right.
security card and that you need
Right.
to ask for help, that you can
Yeah,
ask
and
for
that
help
you
in that
have, yeah,
and the community. Right.
yeah, it all
Right.
fits in.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty amazing to me. Yeah. So Lula said, exactly what I'm experiencing. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think that was amazing. I'm going to change my camera back. And I think as the interesting thing for me is all of these gatherings that we do on Sundays, they just inspire me and make me feel so wonderful. I feel that now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an opportunity, which is a kind of one of the last things that we do is to allow that light that we have received to radiate out around us, the light, the love, the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Allow it to radiate out and touch the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. I think if we're experiencing it does, but I think the intention of it is also powerful. And you can send it with your intention to a specific place, someone who may be depressed or not feeling so good, or just so many possibilities, places in the world where there's war and strife, and there's so many, um, asking for all of nature to be blessed. We, we as humans, we do so many things to defeat the efforts that nature is putting into trying to create in accordance with the divine plan. It's kind of like they're doing that, and we're doing all of these really surprising things. So we can send our love to nature, to Mother Earth. So many places. Anything come to your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think the world we there's always places that need our love and light. So it's
Mm-hmm.
it's always something that's worthwhile doing,
Right.
adding to our prayers every day, adding to our reflection time, just when we're done asking for the things that we need, to make sure that we send that back out, that those are often prayers that other people want answered too. Those are often things that people want in their lives too. More love, more light.
Right.
So
Yeah.
to send out, especially when we're feeling really good and we're in a high
Right.
vibration, to
Right.
send that out, to
Yeah. Send
say
some love.
all this love I'm feeling, yeah, sending it out to the world, whoever needs it right now.
Right. Yeah. And Nikki said, and I'm choosing freedom because I'm painting a new story on life's palette.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Beautifully said.
Yeah. I think with all of this in the reading, that has meaning for all of us. I think, wow. And Lula sent a rainbow of hearts. I love you,
Nice.
spiritual sister. She says, I'm recharged. I say, thank you. I love you too. And I'm recharged too. And this is the thing, we're doing this to start the week in that kind of a place, so that we can, as creators of our lives, create something magnificent this week and every week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Gretchen, would you like to tell people how they can find out more about what you're up to?
Sure. So people can connect with me here on Facebook under Spiral Journey Holistic Life Services or Gretchen Comer. You can also find me at spiraljourney.net or my other website, which is empoweredpriestess.com. And I've got free offerings on Spiral Journey, so you can engage in different things. And if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from people.
Wonderful.
Just reach out.
Thank you. And for Awakenings Institute, that's the nonprofit organization my husband Philip and I are the directors of, creating a more loving world. I wanted to just focus today on offering anyone who wants personal help. Coaches, I'm a coach, I'm a spiritual guide, I'm a healer, I'm an oracle and tarot reader. So you can find out more about that at tinyurl.com /spiritual-session. That takes you to our website, which is large. You can look around. There's a lot to explore there, and also free things, etc. So, and I always offer a tiny URL just because our URLs are very long because it's a big website. So anyhow, that's that. Also, ways you can support us by following our page on Facebook, or we're on YouTube. For those who are joining us on YouTube or want to, we have Soul Awakenings on YouTube, and I can't remember, what do people do? They don't follow, they subscribe. If you subscribe to our page on YouTube, that would be very helpful, because we're just getting it started and we need some subscribers so that YouTube will start to show our videos. And you can share the video with your friends on Facebook or from YouTube, and you can invite your friends to join you in this experience on Sundays, which is very enlightening and illuminating. Generally, that's our hope anyhow. And the final thing that we do is send love and light, the love, the light, the freedom, the all of the things, the joy, the magic, the flow. Just send it all forward through this week ahead, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. And again, thank you for joining us. We love you.
Bye.